Okay, we are just now tearing up relative positioning with layout with CSS. I want to continue now and show you another trick here. First of all, we learned how to float an item, float an element. And if you float an element, that means the elements around it will flow around the floated element. So flow and float. Watch out, it's a tongue twister. So let's go back in here. I'm back to my original HTML. What I'm going to do now is let's go into the style up at the top of the page. And remember, we have two divs. One's called the image, the other is called the text. And those are IDs, by the way. So let's say div pound the image. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's set this width to be 300 pixels. And let's go ahead and float it to the left. Okay. All right, now 300 pixels, it's going to float left. And when I go over and check that in the HTML, there it is. Okay, remember we had some margin issues here, so let's go ahead and give this a margin of, let's see, what did I say, 30 pixels last time? 20 pixels, something like that. Should be close enough. There we go. Actually, this gave it a margin all the way around. Last time I did just margin right. Okay, let's say that this is fine. This is my layout. This is how I'm going to go here. But what I don't want this to take up the entire width of the page. I want, somebody has, let's zoom out here. Somebody has a giant browser. I don't want this to go all the way across. I want my layout to kind of stay tidy, and I want it to be centered on the page, okay? Well, last time we talked about how to center one element on the page, and we used the margin attribute, and we set that attribute on the left and right side of those margins to be auto or automatic. Well, I can do that again here. Remember, you need two attributes to center an element inside its parent element. In this case, it's the body tag or the whole page. Okay, and those two elements that you need a width, and then you need the margin attributes for automatic on the left and the right. So you need the width, and then set your margin left and right to auto. Okay, so with that in mind, how do I center everything? How do I center the whole thing? Well, typically what you're going to do is, let's go down to the HTML. Let's add another div into this, okay? And I'm going to come over here, and let's say, let's just create a div tag. And this ID is going to be, I'm going to call this container. Container. Okay, so we have a container div here. Now, I'm going to close this div out, but I want all of my elements to be inside that container. So let's take the close div, and I'm going to delete that. And let's go down and put it at the bottom of the page now. If you go clear down here at the very end of the document. So now, both of these two divs, the image and the text, are inside of the container div. Okay, now it's real easy. All I have to do is go up to the top here. Let's say div pound container. And whoops, and curly braces. And what I need to do, remember there's two things I need to center on the page. I need a width. In this case, let's make it pretty big. Let's make it 600 pixels. Oops, cannot type today. And we need the margin for the left and the right. So top and bottom, I'm just going to zero out. And for the left and the right, we'll say auto. So margin, top, bottom is 0. Left, right is auto. Let's go back over here, refresh. And lo and behold, you can see this has centered it on the page. So when I open in the window, it will adjust accordingly. So that's how you're going to center your entire layout on a page. And a lot of times people will want to do that just as a way to make your layout look nice. Maybe not every situation calls for it, but you'll certainly want to do it now and then. So that's how that goes.